4v3.
Everfrog Esports trying to find the angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position.
We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a roll. We're gonna deflect. See White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3. Only gonna really need that Rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna get themselves a big old 4K. Oh. Santi's getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Saga Fort is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick on the Leaky. They're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the game. Manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Lana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The 4th one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace.
More than 3 months of waiting has led to this moment. Right at the end now, 2 teams remain. We are in the grand finals of the EU Diamond Division. Hello and welcome to the Console Gaming League. My name is K-Wing and I'm here with Rain. And Rain, we have actually a special treat before we get into our grand finals.
Yeah, we do have the season awards here ready for everyone. So I think that a lot of the community definitely been waiting for this moment. These nominations have all come in and we have a few different categories. We got some coaches, we got some managers, the roles, of course, and that coveted MVP, the most valuable of the entire season. So super excited to get into these awards for the EU Diamond tier.
Yeah, we've got our runners up and our winners. So we have at 2nd place and 1st place. So I feel like we should just get right into it now and start up with our first category of the awards. And that is our most valuable coach. And our most valuable coach, our runner up there, as you can see, is Mata Mata from the Gelderse Geitjes, and we've actually got one member of the Geitjes in here.
Yeah, hi.
We've got Leander on the in the call with us. So, speaking on behalf of Mata Mata, congratulations on this runner-up award.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it works out great because I am Mata Mata. The name in Discord is different. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, I'm wondering, we'll ask you a couple quick questions just to get an idea of kind of like what this award means and how you think you kind of stood out from the others. How long have you been coaching this team, and what is the kind of impact that you see from that coaching over this season?
Yeah, so I am also a player on this team. We don't really have an official coach. And most of the coaching we just do kind of as a team, but I did try to take a leading role in this and in VOD reviews and in coming up with strategies. Yeah, we kind of only play really one comp a lot of the time, so it's really for us figuring out how we play into different compositions, how we adjust to our weaknesses. Yeah, I mean, I've really been enjoying it, and we've definitely grown as a team.
That's great to hear. I guess now in the finals, are you excited, and do you think you guys can go all the way?
Yeah, totally. We're going to play Breizhurect. They're a really strong team, but we've beaten them before, and I think we're going to do it again tonight. I feel very confident.
Yes, love to hear this confidence. All right, thank you so much, Matamata. Congratulations on that runner-up for the Coach Awards. Now
Thank you.
we are going to be moving on to the winner of the most valuable coach of this season for the EU Diamond. It is going to go over to Tom Fire from the side of Breizhurect. Now, K-Wing, I don't believe we have them in the call with us here today, but pretty exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, Tom Fire winning that coach of the year or coach of the season for the EU Diamond tier. And I mean, you have to respect it. It's the votes came in, and for a coach, coaching is incredibly important for these teams. When you have teams made up of gold to diamond players, getting a coach in who really knows what they're doing can elevate players beyond how they started and help them grow. And we've seen a lot of players move up and move beyond CGL off of the back of good coaches. And congratulations to Tom Fire.
Amazing. Love to see that. The two coaches, the runner-up and the winner, going to be, of course, those two coaches for our final teams here tonight. So definitely very well deserved. But on to the next award. It's, again, one of those kind of behind-the-scenes roles of a team that is still so incredibly important. It is going to be the best manager. And the runner-up for the best manager is going to go to Miri, again, from Breizhurect.
Yeah, Miri from Breizhurect on the best manager, an incredible role, and manager is equally as important there out of Breizhurect with coordination of scrims and being a bit of a point person for us as production and for external scheduling. Incredibly important, and a big congratulations to Miri. Now hopping on to the winner of Best Manager for the EU Diamond Division. It is from SCR Need Bastion. It's Fuso Fast. We've actually got Fuso Fast in the call. Fuso Fast, congratulations on the award.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. This is, again, I believe that you are a player for this team as well. So how do you kind of balance being someone that needs to not only kind of organize all these things for your team, but actually be a member of the team as well?
Well, we had Twix was helping me a lot as well. So, massive shout out to Twix. But I don't know, it wasn't really that hard to balance it, I guess. It was just,
Good.
I don't know, one of them things, if you get me.
Feel like that shows a true leadership skill to not find that you had too much of issue with balancing it. So definitely a well-deserved manager award, I would say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And thank you for joining us, and thank you for hopping in and talking with us. Congratulations on the award. Now we're going to hop into Best DPS Player. For the runner-up, we've got AKZ off of Breizhurect, and we do not have AKZ with us here today, but a giant congratulations on the win for the runner-up of Best DPS Player in the division. And now, hopping on to the best DPS player in the entire Diamond Division. Rain, who we've got?
It's Fuso Fast from SCR Need Bastion.
Unmute again, please.
So we will have you back in here. Fuso Fast, congratulations. Maybe a little bit of a look into how you find this balance. I want to know, playing DPS, how do you feel that you kind of came out with a bit of an edge over some of the other DPS players in this season?
Genji. I mainly just play Genji, so I just feel like that probably gave me the edge of most flex DPSs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have anyone you want to thank for helping you out, for training you, your coaches, your supports? Any shout outs?
Well, Necros for getting me into Genji. but obviously, you know. No one. I didn't really get coached on my Genji anyway.
Self-made, love it. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations once again, FusoFast. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us here. All right, well, we have more roles to get to. We're gonna move over on to the tank role, and the runner-up for that tank position, it is gonna be Captain Erwin from Breizhurect. Not unfortunately in the call with us here, but definitely a big congrats to our runner-up.
Yeah, and now going to the best tank of the season, we've got Ono Senpai from the Heights, from the Hell Giants. Apologies. And we do have Ono Senpai in the call with us right now. Feel free to unmute, and congratulations on winning best tank of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So obviously you've made it into these grand finals, your tank. How much do you think the team kind of relies on you to be this kind of anchor? And how do you think that living up to that has helped bring your team into this grand finals?
We're kind of just a one-only team. So everything we do is kind of based around me. So trying to play consistent, really. Mainly just more comfort picks. So.
Yeah. I guess I'll give you the same question of, is there anyone that you want to give a thank you to about your coaching and your sort of team? Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to my support for keeping me alive through a lot. And Mada for kind of helping me with the positioning, which definitely went wrong a lot more in the beginning than it does now.
That's great. Congratulations on the win, Ono Senpai. And now moving on to the support category, where our runner-up for best support is going to be Dr. Unicorn from Breizhurect. Not in the call with us, but we will see some of Dr. Unicorn, pardon me, and the rest of Breizhurect very shortly, but our runner-up for that.
Yeah, moving over to the winner of that support role star, it is going to be Bjorn from SER Need Bastion. SER Need Bastion making another appearance here in the award show. Not going to have Bjorn with us in the call, but big congratulations goes out picking up that role star support award.
And now we're going to go to the best rookies of the season, and we'll start off with that runner-up there. It's going to be a second award for Captain Erwan from Breizhurect, a second runner-up award there. Again, not with us, but a great congratulations, and we'll get to see a little bit more of just how good they are. We'll actually get to see the first and second, the winner, the best, and the runner-up tank face off in just a few moments here as we get through the rest of the awards. And we actually have the best rookie in call with us right now. It's Mada, also the coach, and best rookie award as well.
Thank you.
Amazing. Congratulations. I always love to see these rookie awards come out. This is, of course, going out to somebody who is their first time competing here in CGL. So that leads me into the question of, this is your first season, Mada, and how did you find season 16 to be?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I really noticed myself really improve as a player, especially on a role that I usually don't play. Just got into this team to play DPS, specifically for the Mei Sin on our team comp. I'll say I'm probably not the most impressive player mechanically on my team, but I really do try to make up for that with smart wall placement, smart TPs, smart angles, and it worked out great.
Yeah, I mean, very clearly the best rookie in your division. A giant congratulations from us here. And that's going to be our last interview with all of you guys in the call.
Thanks.
And thank you all for joining us here. We've got now the last group of awards. We've got the coveted MVP. The runner-up is going to be Bum from the Helidates, and not in the call itself, of course, but a giant congratulations to Bum.
Yeah, big deal to get that runner-up for the MVP. This is maybe the most coveted title to kind of have for the season. So without any more delay, we will announce the winner of the MVP for the EU Diamond Division. It is going to be AKZ from Breizhurect. And wow, I mean, this is seeming to be a pattern, isn't it, K-Way? We've seen a whole lot of these Breizhurect players and the Gelderse players in these awards today.
Absolutely. We're going to see so many of these award-winning players showing up in the match to come, but AKZ going to be the player standing out from all of them. Of course, the projectile DPS player on Breizhurect, and AKZ, again, that Genji player that we heard from some other teams really enjoying the Genji, so maybe a little bit of Genji 1v1. We're going to have these award-winning players showing up and fighting for the title of best in the tier of the CGL Season 16 EU Diamond tier in just a moment. We've got the two best teams in this division. They've been fighting it out in the playoff brackets, and now we're down to just the two of them. Now chock full of awards. They're going to be facing off to see who holds the crown. Of course, Breizhurect coming from the lower bracket after taking an early loss to Goon Squad. And so now, after coming up from that lower bracket, facing off against a team that knocked down the Goon Squad after getting their revenge, they're going up against the Gelderese.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that has been reoccurring throughout the entire season 16 here in CGL, and every single time that these two teams have faced up against each other, it has gone the distance. Now, Gelderse has come out on top every time as well. In fact, Gelderse is actually undefeated in this season so far, going 9-0 in that regular season, even in the mid-season tournament, not dropping a match and taking that grand finals there. So, you know, a lot of work here for Breizhurect to kind of try and take down this Titan, but Breizhurect has been showing us so much determination all through the season, and I mean, just seeing there, getting knocked down into that lower bracket round one, but then getting revenge on the team that knocked you down there. This is definitely a team that I think has the potential to, again, take Gelderse all the way, probably going to a map 7 here, K-Wing.
I mean, we can only hope for something so exciting as, like you said, when these teams faced off, they faced off in week 5 in October. It went 3-2. I believe they faced off in the mid-season tournament.
Yeah,
pull up that
3-2.
results, and yeah, they did. It went
right?
3-2 again with Gelderese going the distance and barely able to win it out. So these are two teams that have been neck and neck for a while. Maybe Breizhurect is able to bring something new, something different for this moment, because they haven't faced off in a little bit. It's been since mid-October. Now we're sitting here in December, the colder months of the year. Let's see if Breizhurect can bring the heat.
We'll have to see. Now, we will have Gelderse being that higher seed, which means that they are going to be the ones that get to pick what control map we are going to be starting on. And maybe just a little refresher for anybody that isn't remembering all of the maps that we see, because somehow we only seem to see one map out of this entire map pool every time we come to control. But we have Busan, Lijiang, Tower, Nepal, and Oasis, the options that Gelderse had to pick from. And I mean, we heard from the tank players just they're essentially a Reinhardt team, so you know that they're going to be trying to pick a map that works around that composition.
Yeah, and in terms of that maps, honestly, the control map pool is 3 like fake choices and then Lijiang Tower. No one picks nothing that's not Lijiang Tower unless they're trying to be weird, unless they've got something up their sleeve, or they don't, or they want to play like dive or something. But like we said here, it's Lijiang Tower. It's the known. It's the loved. It's the something. Lijiang Tower is definitely, it's an interesting one. But now we go into the bans, and this is where a lot of that strategy can be found, as we've got the Gelderese banning first. We'll have to see what they're looking to shut down early on as we wait for the time to tick down. What are we thinking here?
Well, if you're going to be playing this Reinhardt composition, you're probably going to want to take out something that's going to be an issue for that. All right, going to take out the Echo here. Not a direct counter to the Reinhardt, but the mobility of the Echo is going to make it really hard for the Reinhardt to use that shield effectively to kind of protect your team here. Now, Breizhurect, knowing that you're going up against a Reinhardt or Brawl in general team, you have to be kind of careful about the ban here, because this is going to be the best of 7. So you don't want to go out with a super heavy hitting ban right away. Going to be going over for the Baptiste ban. So that is going to take a lot of that kind of consistent healing away from the Reinhardt composition, at least.
Yeah, you'll have to see. They might end up going with that, with a Kiriko instead, but the Baptiste provides a lot more survivability with the immortality field and with his sustained healing. He's very geared toward it, healing and damage output. A bit of a jack of all trades, Baptiste, so not seeing him on the field, especially on Lijiang, is going to be an interesting development, and we'll have to see how both Gelderese and Breizhurect want to work around that.
Yeah. All right, well, we know what map we're going to. We know what heroes will be banned. I think that it might be time for us to get a little bit of an introduction to these teams now. Of course, we've been seeing them all season long, but let's give you all a little reminder of these, like K-Wing said, award-winning players here. So, starting out with Gelder's roster, we are going to be looking at Silver. I've been instructed that there needs to be a pause in this name. Silver and Matamata on the DPS. Ono Senpai on that tank. Bum and Happy Yeehaw, the supports here. So we, of course, got to speak with Matamata and Ono Senpai in that awards show here. So super excited to get to see these players in action here.
Yeah, and like you said, the noted players on this, you have Matamata, who you had 3 award-winning players there. Now on to Breizhurect, you have AKZ, noted runner-up of MVP. You have Rodark, you have Captain Erwan, you have Dr. Unicorns, and you have Taranex on the support. Now they can't both be playing Lucio, but this is a team that also had some people in, and it looks like we're about to hop into game right now.
Oh my goodness, teams are ready to go. I mean, let's get into it. Definitely ready to get started here. Much thanks to the players for their patience as we got through the awards. But Lijiang Tower heading into it now. We are going to be starting out on this garden sub-map here. We are looking at Gelders, and yeah, they're on the Reinhardt. Also have Matamata on that Mei. He gave a little bit of a shout out there. Looks like you were right, K-Wing. It is going to be the Kiriko kind of coming in place of where you could potentially have that Baptiste.
Yeah, you've got the Pharah Mercy combo out of Breizhurect, and the way to win that is either to take out the Pharah in the air or win the fight on the ground. And it looks like Gelderese are looking to win that fight on the ground, but they might not do that. With Happy Yeehaw getting taken down, their mobility, their legs taken out from under them, Bum gone, and it's the supports of Gelderese taken out, and Breizhurect takes point with some great Pharah play from AKZ. It's an immediate switch from Sylph.
Ooh, Yeah, that's you need the hit scan. You got to move over onto this. And Breizhurect did a really great job with that dive, right? If you're playing this diva into the Reinhardt, you have to essentially just ignore the Reinhardt and try to avoid the Mei, and that's exactly what Captain Irwin does. That damage coming in from AKZ with Dr. Unicorns on this Mercy as well, having this damage boost so impactful. So even though that Silver has swapped over onto this hit scan, still gonna be really hard to take this far out of the sky.
Yeah, and none of the rotations give you perfect protection from AKZ from downtown. That is incredible. Even the Mei wall can't protect you, and now just shut down a little bit as we transition back in. Captain Irwan taken out, and it seems like Breizhurect are having some trouble as Bum finds a pick onto Captain Irwan. Charging in onto the point, AKZ taking a wraparound and getting some poke onto the point, 51%, but that'll be it for Breizhurect.
They are coming back into this fight with a whole lot of ultimates here, and now that Captain Irwin back in, you might have a chance, but wow, yeah, losing Rodark there, I mean, Gelders can just kind of stall this out now.
Oh, but they're investing there. They've got the Kitsune Rush, and they've got the damage output to find these picks. Captain Irwan going to get 2, and AKZ on the Pharah is going to take that point right back.
Yeah, really great re-engagement there from Breizhurect. You commit that Kitsune Rush. You actually get Bum to use the Kitsune Rush as well. Gelderse is going to have Mata swap over on to the Symmetra right now, so they're looking to just get a TP onto the point, try and avoid all this poke damage that is happening in the courtyard and in White Room. Now, if you're going to make this rotation, you got to be so careful because there's a lot of ults here from Breizhurect that are going to be able to really capitalize on this composition that's just playing all together.
There goes the ultimate, and there goes the Pharah barrage as well. Rodark hitting them with the ult and just shutting them down. That's a team kill out of Breizhurect, and they're gonna have to rush to the point for an overtime tap.
Yeah, this is the risk of playing this Symmetra composition. You use that TP, everybody walks through it, and then you get hit with ultimates as soon as you come out the other side. You know the TP's coming through. Gelders does manage to get the touch here, but you're gonna need to really get value from this beat from Happy Yeehaw if you want to try and flip this over.
Yeah, they've got some ults coming up. The beat comes out, and it's going to get all 3. But now there's nothing left to sustain. 2 ults, though, coming up for Gelderese. They have the Shatter, looking to unleash it here. But Breizhurect is just playing so separate. AKZ shut down from the sky. Can we see a resurrection from Dr. Unicorns? It might not be enough as Silver gets taken down. Captain Irwan, it's now Ono Senpai in some trouble. The Shadow is going to land onto the Diva. The D-Mech will come through. Rodark will get taken down with Dr. Unicorns. And Gelderese pry victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, and I mean, it's hard to land a Shatter onto a Mercy when there's a Pharah, so really good job from Ono Senpai to make that value come through here. Now, you have this Kitsune Rush. Tyrannex is going to be able to match that on the size of Breizhurect. You still have this bomb ready to go from Captain Irwin as well. Now, playing out in this big open space is going to be difficult for Helders because you have a Diva Bomb that's coming, which is going to force you all into a little space on the point.
It's the ult from Rodark, getting a little bit of damage in. Silver in a bit of trouble. Dr. Unicorns gets taken down. That's a big pick, and you trade it out for just Mata as the Diva Bomb goes through. No picks on the board and no remech available as Tarnax in trouble, teleports away. Now Breizhurect in a bit of trouble, 94%. They need to be rushing to point here to trigger overtime. It's going to be AKZ jumping in, booped away. The Mercy has to do it, sacrifices her life for it. AKZ goes down without the support. And now the Kiriko in trouble with a Reinhardt on her tail. Bum goes down, and that's going to be Breizhurect losing round 1. A great recovery from Gelderese.
Yeah, honestly, really great adjustment in the tempo that they were playing. Breizhurect won out those first couple of fights because Elders wasn't moving quickly enough. When you have this Reinhardt composition with the Lucio, you need to be kind of walking forward, finding these picks early, because if you let any time go by, that's going to allow Breizhurect to kind of get set up on this dive composition. You get the poke damage in from the Pharah, and then you're able to just find those opening picks here. So really good adjustment from Elders. Now, moving over into Control Center, this is going to favor this Reinhardt composition. much heavily compared to the garden submap that we saw. We are going to have Captain Irwin swap over onto the Ramantra here, so this is going to be a really strong composition for them to play this front to back. The Ramantra probably going to be able to win out over this Reinhardt, especially with Rodark over on the Symmetra as well. You're going to be able to just get so much charge off this Reinhardt shield, so you need to use this Reinhardt in combination with the Mei wall from Mata to split Breizhurect before they can find the opening pick.
Silver just got a lot of damage off of that E over the middle. Mata is going to get taken down after the trade for AKZ. And now some aggression out of Ono Senpai and the rest of Gelderese pushing through. The Ramatra in some trouble, pushing forward. And Breizhurect pulling back outside of the window. It'll be Gelderese taking point first.
Yeah, the thing with the Symmetra is that you do need a little bit of time to kind of build up to that fully charged beam, so the Mei is going to be able to move a little bit more quickly in this fight. Rodark is going to make that swap over. What a nice quick engagement, huge wall. Oh my.
Ono Senpai in trouble, but now the reverse wall comes up. Reinhardt getting caught behind the wall again. Ono Senpai will drag down the Mei, but that'll be it. There goes the wall trying to cut off Captain Erwan, but just a bit more armor, and the block on the Nemesis form is going to allow them to stay up and stay alive even better. Silver going to get taken down as Breizhurect take the point.
All right, we still have Helders kind of hanging around here, looking for an opportunity to come back into this fight. The rush is going to just kind of shut down any hope of trying to come back in, though.
Kitsune Rush into High Noon is crazy there as Captain Erwan gets those 2 picks to really shut down Gelderese. Now waiting outside Silver. Going to do a bit of a rotation around, doing a little bit of a pincer here.
Yeah, and the overclock is ready to go as well. Has been spotted out though, so this is an opportunity for Gelderese to kind of capitalize.
Oh no, Senpai takes down 3. That's gonna be a team kill, ringing out from the Shatter. 2 ults, 1 fight win.
Yeah, massive here. You're gonna be able to take back the lead now, and you get to hold at this forward choke point. You have the Blizzard ready to go from Mata, so Breizhurect are essentially just in a lost fight scenario here. You probably just want to take a quick one, try not to commit anything.
Gosh, Silver gets that first pick onto AKZ. And it's going to be Rodark just trapped out in no man's land. A big fight win, and Ono Senpai already now 50% charged to the Shatter again after 1 fight.
Yeah, that's really impressive stuff. You still have the overclock from Silver, who just can't be stopped. I mean, fighting that headshot onto Terranex. It is going to be the wall from Rodark just trying to keep Breizhurect alive, trying to stop any of these picks coming through once again. You have the Annihilation and the Beat ready to go here, so you can really get aggressive with that. You just got to watch because Happy Yeehaw does have this Beat as well in response.
Both Beats come out early, not really responding to any ultimates, but used in the engage, which means they're going to be vulnerable to the Annihilation out of Captain Erwan. Pushing forward, I said advance. As Ono Senpai goes down first, losing the tank duel. AKZ finds the major pick onto the supports. Overtime now starting to tick through for the Gelderese. Breizhurect on point. And Captain Erwan will keep this map going.
Now, Breizhurect aren't going to be able to take a whole lot of space off of this. You really would love to be able to push up to that choke point and hold where Gelderese had kind of held on their defense. But you do at least have the Blizzard ready to go. 1 fight is needed here from Gelderese to take this map point. You got a whole lot of ults to work with. Another Shatter ready to go. I mean, Breizhurect have to be very, very careful about this one because these Shatters have been finding value.
Yeah, and Silver with the ult as well. Blizzard goes in over top, freezes up the Kiriko. Mata goes down. It's 2 picks. And then the freeze onto the Ramatra. Gelderese in some trouble, though, as Ono Senpai just goes a bit too deep as the late Blizzard comes out. Now Breizhurect, 1 fight to go.
Yeah, and in a really good spot. Great engagement there to go in early with that Mei ult, catch the rotation that was coming through. Now, Kitsune Rush is going to be coming out. The Deadeye from AKZ, very big potential. We see that kind of comboed with this Kitsune Rush from Breizhurect.
Wait, the High Noon, the highest of noons, the High Noon. 3 picks from AKZ. Gelderse in the ground. We're going to a round 3. AKZ seems overjoyed.
Wow, that is a play that Breizhurect needed to stay in this map. Honestly, Gelderse was coming in with so many ultimates. There's some really impactful fight-winning ults, but you get that Kitsune rush. Everybody from Gelderse is just focused on that rush. You anticipate that everyone from Breizhurect is going to be playing inside that, getting the maximum value. You aren't looking up to the sky where the Cassidy is just sitting there waiting for you as we head over to Market, our final sub-map here on Lijiang Tower. Not looking like we're going to be having any changes from the side of Gelderse. We do have Mata on the Symmetra, potentially looking to get a TP through that window to get yourself set up on point. Breizhurect are going to move back over onto this Mercy and Pharah composition here that, you know, it did get some pretty good value on the first fight of Garden, but you're going to have to find a really good kind of balance here in finding the poke composition and dealing with this fast tempo from Gelderse, because Gelderse adapted to this very quickly on Garden.
Yeah, but their adaptation did require that Soldier 76, so now Silver on the Sojourn is going to be in a bit of trouble, especially with AKZ taking these off angles like this. With a Mercy damage boost already up to 50% ultimate, and on this off angle, just shooting through the window, taking out Mata. Captain Erwan just pushing through, going to get demeched, but it'll be one of only a few losses here for Breizhurect as they take this point back early. Well, Ono Senpai is forming a bit of a wall on point, holding to the last, and going to get about 25% as, are they actually going to turn this around? There's the barrage shot of AKZ, nearly kills themselves with the self-damage, but just barely getting that point is Breizhurect. Gelderse is fighting to the last.
Yeah, that's a massive stall coming through. At 35%, very, very good here. Now, Breizhurect, you do have to commit that barrage, so you're looking to kind of build up to this bomb, build up to this bola here. Not a whole lot for Gelderse to work with just yet, but these sim TPs, I mean, the Reinhardt's going to pop up in unexpected places.
Yeah, the Reinhardt is going to pop up in unexpected places, but you get so vulnerable to the Pharah spam, to that splash damage, and Happy Yeehaw goes out the side. Is now Rodark on the Freya going in the main. It's going to be Breizhurect just getting shut down. I don't think you could pull the TP strats against a Pharah like that.
No, you run into the same issue with the Symmetra, where the TP is going to be so telegraphed that you're just going to get a whole bunch of damage coming in, and when you have Dr. Unicorns on this Mercy, I mean, it's just all that extra damage. AKZ is going to be able to blow you apart as soon as you come through this TP,
Ooh.
But okay, we do have the wall ready to go shortly from Mata. You gotta stay alive long enough to build up to it, though.
All right, you've got the Zarya switch. Dr. Unicorns is going to get taken down, so AKZ now in a very vulnerable position. Captain Erwan in trouble as Tarnex goes down, no supports. It's going to be the Diva Bomb thrown in over top. Happy Yeehaw actually going to take 2 as the Remix Stomp is going to take them out. Woo, boy. Bum going to get taken down as the Mercy going to actually play pretty well here, playing pretty evasive to keep those points rolling up to about 83.
Yeah, not bad for Breizhurect. You still hold on to both those support ultimates, so having this Kitsune rush from Terranex is a really nice advantage to have, but Happy Yeehaw on the Lucio does have this beat, and Mata has built up to this Photon Barrier, so you're gonna have an opportunity to just force a fight on point and use that shield to just split it in half, and it's gonna be very hard for AKZ to kind of navigate around that as you're trying to... It's already really nice angles being taken here from Breizhurect, though.
Yeah, but they lose their Kiriko early on, and this fight's over before it even begins. Bum landing a great pick, and that's just going to be a reset out of Breizhurect.
That's the thing about playing this composition where you need to control the angles, is if you aren't able to kind of stay alive on your angle, if a Kiriko kunai kind of finds its way to your head, it does shut down the fight before you even have that time to kind of get the poke damage in. And now, I mean, you're losing Mata here. Breizhurect trying to come into this fight.
Yeah, Silver in trouble. Tarnex going to take down. Tarnex landing 2 final blows as Captain Erwan going to get demeched, but now you're just running into more and more trouble as AKZ is going to stall out the tank and now just going to wait with a barrage just on point for anyone who dares try and walk on. There is going to be the OT teleport, but there goes the barrage. It's going to be AKZ taken down by the shield, but there's still 2 points. There goes the grab. Is it going to be enough? No. Rodart will shut them down, and it'll be Breizhurect taking first blood.
This is what I expect from the first map of a grand finals between two teams that have gone the distance every time they've come up against each other. Going to this third point, nearly 199 on all of those maps, but great adjustment here from Breizhurect. I think playing this poke composition where you're controlling lots of different angles, it's gonna give you the benefit against this Reinhardt comp. But as you can see here, if Ono Senpai gets a chance to play this Reinhardt in a situation where Reinhardt is optimal, say control center of Lijiang Tower, you gotta be really careful about it.
Yeah. Oh man, Ono Senpai was absolutely incredible, but just looking at the stats from that map, AKZ on the Pharah going 37-7 with 14k damage. That is the second most in the entire lobby behind only Captain Erwan, but just so much damage being outputted by that Pharah. And it shows you why Breizhurect had a bit of an edge there. AKZ pumping out damage. The numbers don't mean everything, but I think in this case, the numbers don't lie. AKZ was a force to be reckoned with, and while maybe not showing up as much in the eliminations department, the damage was palpable.
Yeah, we can see why AKZ won that MVP award for the season 16, and I think that playing the Mercy into this Pharah with AKZ, you know, having as much aim kind of as he did, is if you're hitting these direct rockets, you're getting that extra damage, and you have the damage boost on top of it. And like you said, K-Wing, maybe not appearing in the kill feed super frequently, but it's about doing that poke damage so that the rest of your team can kind of clean up. We saw Terranex getting so many elims, Captain Erwan getting a lot of final blows as well, and a lot of that was off of the back of the damage that AKZ was putting out here. So I think that right now, if you're Helders, you need to be thinking about, okay, how can we shut down AKZ right now? Because so far, that first map, a big chunk of your loss was because of this Pharah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I mean, the thing is that Breizhurect, AKZ, put down their preferred hero as their most played and favorite hero as Genji.
Yeah.
The Pharah is just a palate cleanser, just a taste, just a little appetizer, if you will, for the main course that is hopefully going to be coming through if we get to a more hospitable map, something like, oh, I don't know. What would you call a more hospitable map to Genji? Something with, I don't know, like a lot of high ground, something really diveable. I don't know.
Yeah.
What could it be?
If you're expecting a Genji, you probably don't want to go into a map that has a lot of really long sight, like you want to play long sight lines, right? Because the Genji's gonna have all that vertical movement and all this. So, I mean, Elders is gonna get to pick the map that we're going to go to, and if you are trying to kind of shut down these heroes, yeah, you're gonna take it to Circuit Royale here. Very hard to play dive compositions here, but I will say, K-Wing, I have seen the Pharah make an appearance on Circuit sometimes.
And I think it could work. I don't know, but it could. Either way, going to Circuit Royale is definitely, like you said, playing the long sight lines, making it so that these close range teams are going to maybe struggle a bit. We'll see, though, if it's a bit of self-damage. against this Reinhardt composition. We'll have to see exactly what they do here with the bans coming in. We've got Gelderse on the clock.
Yeah, so they are again going to be thinking about kind of what heroes are going to kind of counter out your comps here. If you do want to play this Reinhardt, you're probably going to have to play the Lucio to kind of get through these long sight lines. If you don't have kind of hit scan players, sometimes banning out one of those hit scans is going to be your best option. No, gonna go through the Zenyatta, which is going to put, you know, that Discord orb puts so much pressure onto the Reinhardt, onto the tank. So not having that in, and then also, you know, a good Zenyatta can still do a whole lot of damage from long range.
Oh, a good Zenyatta can pump in damage from wherever on the map they should so please. And now we've got Breizhurect, and they're going to be banning out the Symmetra. Definitely a favorite of the Gelders in that early throughout Lijiang, but I don't know if the Symmetra, you could see Symmetra in a Circuit Royale to close those distance and kind of get rid of those long sight lines, but I don't know. What do you think's the motivation behind that?
I suspect that Breizhurect is thinking that the Symmetra could be potentially used to kind of clear some of that distance, like you said, if you're going to play that Reinhardt. I don't think that it's going to be kind of a make or break for the composition that Gelderse is probably going to roll out on. You can still play that Lucio on circuit. Again, we don't get to see him a whole lot, but if you're going to play this Reinhardt, you basically have two options. You either use the Symmetra TP to just avoid the open spaces altogether, play the corners, or you use the Lucio to use the speed to get from corner to corner. So banning out kind of one component of something that can work with this Reinhardt composition, I think it's a smart ban, and I also think that it's not going to impact Breizhurect, most importantly, because a lot of the times, if you kind of go for one of these really hard-hitting bans like the Lucio, you might end up kind of shooting yourself in the foot depending on what you're more comfortable playing.
As we wait for these teams to load in to give us our compositions, we've got it loaded in, and it looks like off of the defense, we've got Gelderse playing the Reinhardt composition. It's exactly what they want, but I'm interested to see how they handle playing at range, or if they're going to try and go for a spawn hold here against Breizhurect, because that would be pretty disadvantageous for Breizhurect going up in that face-to-face head-to-head matchup. We'll have to see what their plan is here, Gelderse.
Yeah, you do have Happy Yeehaw over on this Juno, so you do have an aspect of speed, but this is playing very aggressively here. You don't have that consistent speed from the Lucio, so you're going to have very clear kind of engages and disengages, especially with Mata over on this main. Now, we do have AKZ on the Widowmaker here, so Silver is going to have a really hard time kind of being pressured out here, not just from AKZ, but also from Brodark. So if you're Breizhurect right now, you want to try and keep as much distance as you can from Ono Senpai and just try and put the damage in before you take the brawl.
Silver gets taken down by Erwan to start off, and now AKZ and the rest of Breizhurect marching on down the road as Happy Yeehaw gets taken out. Almost a stagger there as Gelderse not really fighting to the last man as the Soldier gets taken out right in the middle of the slide. AKZ clean with it.
Ooh, yeah, this Widow. I mean, you can see not just the damage that is put in from the Widowmaker, but also just the pressure. You're forcing Elders to kind of play at a very awkward spot. You need to kind of just keep backing up. All that space just given over to Breizhurect essentially for free, which is not what you want when you're playing this Reinhardt May composition. You need to claim some space for yourself.
Yeah, and now 5:12 on the clock, and Breizhurect is just running this entire game. Brodark in a little bit of trouble, but the Mercy will save them through. On the Wuyong has the ult. Might be looking for that Reinhardt to go in aggressively with it. that might just be the plan as they engage, but they lose Mata before it even starts. Tidal Blast thrown in, but accretioned and hit with the Amplification Matrix. Immortality Field thrown down, and shut down is Ono Senpai and the rest of Gelderse. Breizhurect popping the ultimate, and now it looks like Gelderse is going to be maybe even ceding second point.
Yeah, this, I mean, you have the Shatter to come back in, and you're gonna have this Orbital Ray from Happy Yeehaw. You just need to be able to clear some of this distance, because so far, every time that Gelderse tries to go in, it's a pick that's coming through either from AKZ or Rodark or even Captain Erwan, just kind of shutting you down.
Ooh, I think the ult went onto the wall as Ono Senpai is going to shut down entirely. A great accretion out of Captain Erwan, but it'll be just the one pick for Breizhurect as finally Gelderse stop the bleeding.
Oh, just in time too. I mean, you did not have a whole lot of space to work with on that second point. Unfortunately, second point is really not going to favor this brawl composition as much as even first point would, which none of circuit is really going to be great for this comp, but having this high ground here, you're going to be relying on Mata to really be kind of hitting these right clicks on the Mei and trying to find these walls. So far, you just haven't really been able to get huge value from these Mei walls because Rodark and AKZ and Terranex and Dr. Unicorns are all playing so far back that all you can do is just try and hope that you can get Captain Erwan walled off, and then there's going to be, you know, a lamp from Terranex to try and keep you alive here. So Gelderse needs to do what they've been doing in the last fight. Use your ults first, get aggressive.
They use the ult first, but lose Mata immediately. The wall will shut down Erwan. So now it's just Breizhurect disengaging in the 4v4. They will ride away, wait for their tank to come back. Hemorrhaging time now at 2:41 to go and falling. They came into this, mind you, with 5 minutes plus. They're now halfway through that time bank.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Unicorns has this Valkyrie ready to go. Like I said, everybody from Breizhurect is playing kind of split here, but if you get this Valk online, everyone's going to group up a little bit more, which is actually going to be beneficial for Gelderse.
Oh, there goes the ult. Mata though gonna get taken down, and very aggressive positioning by the Reinhardt, going to have to charge to get back to his team as Gelderse. AKZ nearly gets taken down there in the end, but stays alive in the moment. Captain Erwan has this ult, but Silver going to get taken down. AKZ finds that pick, and now it's just going to be, honestly, the ult to just take them down. Ono Senpai gets dropped by the ult, and that'll be Breizhurect giving themselves new life, more time, and another point in the match. That's 2-0 now, and climbing. Breizhurect putting Gelderse back.
Yeah, more than 3 minutes to work your way through this third point. If you're Breizhurect, you can see everybody's trying to push forward, claim some space so that you can essentially just push this payload for free. Shatter is ready to go from Ono Senpai, but we can see that it's really just Captain Erwan that's kind of playing on this lower ground. However, Breizhurect does a really good job of disengaging when they lose their tank, so that could essentially just be the fight win here for Gelderse. If you just get that solo Shatter onto the Sigma, you secure the kill. That should be enough to burn a little bit more time off this clock.
Yeah, but you lose Silver immediately. AKZ with the headshot. The Widow now on the high ground, taking an aggressive angle and just taking so much space. The threat of AKZ just means so much space is ceded to Breizhurect. There goes the Tidal Blast. Ono Senpai can't get much with it. There goes the Shatter onto the Sigma and onto the Sojourn. And the Captain Erwan taken down, and that, exactly as you said, was the fight win.
Yeah, nice Shatter from Ono Senpai, really getting the value from it, and we can see the rest of Gelderse is just kind of like following up on it very nicely as well. Blizzard and Overclock ready to go here. You can see that they're trying to play up forward. You have this Maywall to work with, you have this Blizzard to work with. There's only one way really for Breizhurect to kind of walk into this third point.
Yeah, and it's a big pick off of Rodark's Overclock. Mata going to throw in the Blizzard. Mata going to get taken down, but Captain Erwan trapped behind the wall, hit by the Blizzard, and the Sigma is gone. That's been a common theme of Breizhurect's losses so far in these fights has been losing that Sigma early.
Yeah, this composition that Gelderse is playing is really front to back, right? So you really want to just kind of play to blow up Captain Erwan, which is going to be a little unfortunate here.
Ooh.
Oh, trying to make some space with this window, and that seems like it's going to work out well for Breizhurect.
It's absolutely going to work out well, as Gelderse see so much room, but they still get taken down. They lose their Wuyang immediately, and now we've got AKZ on the signature Genji. What can our MVP do? There goes the ult out of Captain Erwan, beat drawn out. Happy Yeehaw gets a very valuable ult. Now Captain Erwan in a lot of trouble, very deep behind enemy lines, and might get taken down very quickly as the heals go in. Tarnex is healed up, and Breizhurect, a great stall on Captain Erwan, just keeping them back in the middle of no man's land, as now AKZ looking to try and take down some of these high ground players, and Silver is going to get taken down. Rodark with the play. There goes the title blast over top. Ono Senpai onto Captain Erwan on the Diva. Shatter goes in. It's going to be a whiff, but that will be it as the DMEC comes through. Captain Erwan, AKZ trying to get healed up, but can't even stand that. And that'll be the shutdown. Gelderse, you have to commend their ability to take a big hit and recover. I thought there was no way they were holding on after getting shut down so easily in the first half of the map, but they in the first half of the round even, but they turned it around completely. And it really does show. Look at Bum, 8k damage. That's incredible.
That is what you want to see out of the Wuyang, right? You have this kind of balanced damage and healing. Very hard to kind of obtain here, but making it work and getting value out of these title blasts as well, giving that over onto the Reinhardt. You know, sometimes Breizhurect was able to kind of kite out of it, but where they weren't playing that speed, they were playing Dr. Unicorns on the Mercy. Kind of hard to disengage from, you know, a Reinhardt that's charging at you with speed and a title blast. It's a pretty scary situation here. Gelderse did a really good job adjusting. Again, I said this in the first one, they adjusted quite well to Breizhurect, didn't manage to pick up that win on Lijiang, but again here, adjusting well, instead of trying to take these DPS fights that I will say are usually quite typical on Circuit Royale. This is the DPS playground. We're usually seeing a lot of those fights happening. Instead, they're putting these resources into Ono Senpai, just like what we heard in our kind of pre-match interviews with the MVPs and the role stars. So really showing that Gelderse knows how to play this composition well, and that's why they're making it work here on Circuit, where it, you know, shouldn't really work. As we're gonna see an adjustment here from Breizhurect. Dr. Unicorns is moving over onto the Lucio for the defense here, so I think it's really important to kind of have that speed to match against Happy Yeehaw, because you need to keep space between you and this Reinhardt, and when you had the Mercy, you just weren't really able to keep up with that.
Yeah, the Baptiste is a great pick, as pushing through Ono Senpai, taking the high ground, as Breizhurect now going to cede that high ground. Rodark, though, going to get taken down as by Silver on this high ground, as Ono Senpai just charging forward for the stragglers, as AKZ and the rest of Breizhurect going to give up a lot of ground here.
Yeah, and this is unfortunate for Breizhurect to not win that first fight, because you really want to hold that kind of longest sight line on first point as long as you possibly can, and now you don't have a composition that's very good at going for a recontest, so Breizhurect's not even going to go for it at all. They're going to go ahead, get set up on this second point. You have Captain Erwan on this Sigma, holding this high ground. AKZ on the Ashe. There's a lot of pressure to kind of find the Olymps, find the damage right now, because you need to use this high ground advantage to your favor so that you can try and find these picks before that payload creeps up and the Reinhardt gets right up in your face.
Yeah, and with AKZ and the rest of Breizhurect, AKZ on the off angle, they need, with 5 minutes on the clock for Gelderse, they need to basically do what Gelderse did to them and drain minutes and minutes off of the clock as the Bob goes out. Gonna take down Silver. Put in the damage. Rodark onto Happy Yeehaw. And the Bob just putting in the damage from behind. The Bob's going to get 2 picks. And Gelders will be stopped now in a lot of trouble because this run-up is going to be a killing zone.
Oh my goodness, yeah. AKZ on this Ashe. I mean, that Bob alone, such a smart play. You rotate around to the stairs. You make sure that Bob has the angle so that Gelders is getting hit from behind with this Bob. When you have this Reinhardt, it's all about those angles, right? Which, it's hard to get angles on Circuit Royale, but right now, Breizhurect really making it work. And yeah, trying to find these opening picks. Like you said, it's really hard to walk through this open space if you're Gelders.
Well, Silver finding that opening pick onto Rodark. And now Breizhurect starting to pull back, but they're gonna get taken down by AKZ. And Happy Yeehaw will get that last pick as the cart will roll up. One more fight. And Bryze really need to turn this around here. They have the overclock again of Rodark.
Yeah, the overclock is ready to go. You need a little bit of space here to work with. It's going to be hard because right now this choke point is essentially just being stuffed by Ono Senpai. You need to find your way out so that you can use this overclock.
The beat engage is a smart one as Mata is going to be the first to fall even as the Blizzard goes out. Captain Erwan has the ult in hand. There goes the Gravitic Flux, 2 caught up in it. Can they find the picks though? No, not in the end. Just barely staying alive. Ono Senpai though will go down. Captain Erwan trying to hold the line, but loses AKZ, loses that consistent source of damage as Silver rips through Breizhurect. Rodark will find the pick as there goes the Immortality Field. Ult out of Rodark. Needs something big, but not gonna find it. Mata in trouble, throws up the wall to protect from the Sigma. There goes the ult out of Tarnex. Beat response from Happy Yeehaw. Will keep the Gelders alive for a little bit. Bob thrown out, but Bob's behind the wall. Gonna put in a little more damage, but Captain Erwan's gonna get taken down by the Tidal Blast. It's trades upon trades upon trades, but the spawns favor Breizhurect, and that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted that long drawn-out fight, and Gelders were all too happy to give it to them.
Oh my god, I can't believe that Breizhurect stay in that. Bob getting caught behind the Maywall from Mata. I mean, that is not what you want to see at all, but then the Maywall comes down, and well, Bob is just damaging right out onto the point here. So, Gelders, they have the overclock to work with. The only ultimate, at least for this fight, and you're up against this this Gravitic Flux from Captain Erwan. You don't have a beat, you don't have a lamp to try and save you from this, so Captain Erwan just has to find some squishies.
It's only the May! It's a miracle for Gelders, to say the least, as they find the one member that can protect themselves from the Gravitic Flux. As now Silver run over by Breizhurect, going for that behind flank. Rodark taken out 2 and looking for more as Captain Erwan will get 2 of their own. And there you have it, stalling out the Lucio as well. Are they actually going to be able to get that Lucio? No, they're not.
No, okay, this is one more clean fight here for Gelders. You have the Blizzard, you have the Shutter, and you're going to be able to get up to both these support ultimates by the end of the fight as well. So there's a lot for you to work with here, but up against this window and a beat from Breizhurect, including this Rodark has the overclock here. I mean, just the window and the beat alone could be enough to win the fight.
Captain Erwan can't eat the Blizzard, gets shattered, but oh no, Senpai gets taken down first. I think that beat might have actually gotten canceled out by the Shatter. Dr. Unicorns losing that beat early is disastrous, as Bum is going to get 2 picks. Mata will take out Rodark. Erwan onto the Wrecking Ball to try and get something of a stall, but it's not going to be... Oh, it's just barely not going to be fast enough. And so Bryze will hightail, or Captain Erwan will hightail it out of there.
Yeah, that's, you know, Gelders playing at the very, very limit here, just managing to get that point, and now working their way through this third point. You don't have to get it all the way to the end. You just have to get it to that 75.55 meters here. You still have the beat ready to go. You have the beat advantage here. Dr. Unicorn's not having that, but AKZ has a Bob once again. We've seen how he's used this to control angles, and Bob essentially just another tank as well, so you also get that HP on the field.
Bob used after the beat engage. The beat engage just really goes awry as Senpai's gonna get taken down. Captain Erwan's going to rush through, and they're just gonna use it to engage incredibly well. What a great kite out of Breizhurect off of the beat engage of Gelders.
Yeah, it really nice. It's hard to kind of give value from that beat now that, or the beat engage, now that Dr. Unicorns is over on the Lucio, so that you can just kite out of it. Nice wall to split, but it's not quite gonna block off all of Gelders.
No, it won't block off line of sight, but Rodark taking out Mata. No Blizzard on the field. With 25 seconds to go, Silver gets taken down too. Both DPS gone. They'll be back. But now it is do or die for this offense for Gelders, or they go down 2-0 into the break. In trouble is Erwan, and just gets lost behind the wall. Even holding block gets taken down. Gelders have found a way as we go into overtime.
Yeah, not a lot of space to work with here. Breizhurect are going to all get that wave spawn, so at least you're all going to have that speed engage from Dr. Unicorns. This annihilation from Captain Erwan could be the difference maker here. No beat, but there is the Tidal Blast, which again is going to control space here.
AZ gets taken down early. There goes the annihilation off of Captain Erwan as the Tidal Blast is going to knock them down. Dr. Unicorns in trouble, stays alive. Shatter in, gets to Tarnex. Taken down, Blizzard thrown in on point. That could be the death bell of this. 2 picks off of the Blizzard, now 2 on point, and they can't stay on it in the end. Breizhurect take it 2-0 now. This is incredible turnaround as now Breizhurect have won 2 full maps and won the map choice of Gelders. This is big for this team.
Yeah, this definitely really great start here, especially where, yeah, like you said, this was the map pick of Gelders, and I mean, this was the map that was supposed to deny the value from the Reinhardt, right? We went into Circuit Royale because you have these long sight lines, you're able to kind of play these poke compositions here, and it did not work out. Gelders kind of, you know, falling to that, right? So this, I will say though, I've gone back and taken a quick little look at the last time these two teams played each other.
Have you done the same thing? Have you made the same realization I have?
A reverse sweep happened the last time. We saw Breizhurect go up 2, and then it was the 3 that come back from Gelders. So I don't know. You are not in the clear right now if you're Breizhurect.
Oh, no.
Definitely not. No.
Absolutely not. You can't be in the lead at this. You can't be home free until this Gelders team is in the ground. You're just waiting at this point, as the last time they faced in the regular season, it was also a 3-2, but it doesn't look like a reverse sweep off of that, but both of these teams, yeah, it looked like a bit of a back and forth, but yeah, both of these teams are not quitters. Both these teams are completely in it to win it, in it for the money, and now we're going to go to a quick break after our 2 maps. It's Breizhurect up 2-0. Gelders need just that little extra edge. They've been tight, they've been competitive with it. They need a little more. Let's see what they can dig deep and give us after this break. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, because you don't want to miss a moment.
Deep in it, can't stop. I'm forever the one you call.
And we're back. Before we went on our quick break, we had Breizhurect going up 2-0 over Helders, and now in a first to 4. These teams have never played each other in a first to 4, and these teams actually have not played a first to 4. But Breizhurect stunned Helders, the team that they have lost to twice now, once in the regular season, once in the mid-season playoffs, in the mid-season playoffs championship, by the way, taking 2 maps. Now looking for a third. This could be Helders. Never mind. This could be a big turning point for Helders. They've got now 2 maps to turn it around. They have 1 map of grace. If they mess up 1 map, they're still alive, but they have a long road ahead of them, one way or the other, to turn us around as we head now into map number 3.
Map 3. It's going to be another map pick for Gelderse Geitjes. I hope that I said that exactly like Google Translate said it, because that's what we had to do in the break. So apologies to Team Gelderse for we've given you so many different names this series, but I've learned that you've given us a tongue twister as a name, so that's just mean. But yeah, you get the map pick now. So far, hasn't quite gone the way that you've hoped for it to go, but you know, you've got, like you said, another grace map in the bank. If you don't win this next one, it's not the end of the world. I'm not done. Yeah. Apologies to the Dutch. Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but you definitely want to try and stop some of this momentum that Breizhurect has got going for them right now, because going up 3-0, I mean, then you would be not only facing having to win 4 maps if you're Helders, but those map picks would all be Breizhurect's map picks. So you'd also be kind of down in that sense.
You'd be absolutely down in that sense. And the important thing there is, even if at that point you win that first map in that hypothetical situation of going down 3-0, you win the first map, you win the second map, it's 3-2. Oops, now your opponent has the selection of every map in the pool that hasn't been played yet. Because again, we have our 5 maps, our 5 map types: control, hybrid, flashpoint, push, escort. There are no other map types. I don't know what you're talking about. And then, crucially, if we go past that number 5 of maps, the entire pool opens back up. Minus, of course, the maps we've already played. We are not playing a second round of Lijiang. I'm sorry. But you then have the pick of so many more map types that at that point, you're going to be able to find one that's going to give you a big leg up against your opponent and against the compositions that are comfortable for them. And so this is a little bit of do or die. You're not in the hot seat just yet, but it's definitely starting to get warm. So they have to turn this around ASAP. And let's see what Gelders are bringing us for that map pick. We're just about to get it. It is Suravasa.
Okay, I like the Suravasa pick. It is good for a brawl composition, which we of course have been seeing out of Helders no matter what map we end up on. I do think that the Reinhardt may be a little bit tricky here, just Flashpoint being so open, and Breizhurect showing that they are very, very good at kind of finding these angles against the composition that really kind of shut down this, forward-facing shield of the Reinhardt. But if you can keep the speed up, keep the aggression up, if you're Gelders, get control of the space, because that's when you're winning the fights, is when you're not giving up space, when you're just kind of walking forward. BW key gamers, and you should be able to kind of just run over Breizhurect with this composition. Getting the first hero ban as well, big opportunity here for Helders, where I mentioned, you know, having these angles and stuff like that. You might want to actually take out a DPS hero here that's going to be kind of putting that pressure on an angle. But no, okay, going for the Junker Queen instead. Not that Junker Queen is necessarily going to have a great matchup into the Reinhardt, but Junker Queen enables this kind of fast-paced play style that can match the aggression the same way that a Reinhardt composition would.
I'm very interested as to if and when Breizhurect might bring out the Reinhardt ban. They won't be able to do it this map, as obviously the tank is locked out. They're going to be going with the Venture ban, but that just seems like a big shakeup that they've got in their back pocket, as we've got our bans up. Junker Queen banned by the Helders, and Venture banned by Breizhurect. Breizhurect looking to go up 3-0, looking to get to match point to championship point, as Breizhurect and Helders step into Suravasa.
Third map here, the Venture ban, an interesting one. We haven't seen any Venture yet from these two teams. Not really gonna see that on circuit, but then again, I also would say that you weren't really gonna see a Reinhardt on circuit, so, you know, what do I know? We're here in the EU Diamond Division, anything goes. But I do think that on Suravasa, Venture can be super impactful, because not only are you able to kind of control an angle, but you have a lot of frontline presence as well. And I mean, we've seen how Helders kind of plays around this Reinhardt, playing this kind of blow up the tank composition. Venture will play really, really nicely into that. So not going for the Reinhardt ban yet, like you said, that Junker Queen protecting that out. But I think that, you know, taking a little bit of pressure off of the tank for Breizhurect in the way of banning out that Venture might be enough for them to try and, you know, keep this lead going over Helders.
Yeah, and getting that lead, we've stressed it a lot. Keeping that lead, we stressed it a lot. Very important here. Would put them solidly in the driver's seat for the end of this entire season, of this entire league right now, of this division. They've got the chance to really come in to basically what would be a very strong position here and keep the momentum flowing, as we're in with Helders still playing on that Reinhardt. And we'll have to see Breizhurect on the Ramatra. They really like this Ramatra to disrupt and outbrawl the Reinhardt.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a mirror composition in Heroes, but it is a mirror composition in the playstyle that you need to go for here. Ono on this Reinhardt really wants to try and force out the Nemesis form from Captain Erwan early here, so that you don't have to worry about having that just punch through your shield kind of in the mid-fight here. Now, AKZ versus Silver, this Cassidy, going to be a little bit more kind of frontline presence here, where Silver is going to be able to kind of take these angles and be a little bit kind of uncontested here, especially if Happy Yeehaw on the Lucio is able to support that Sojourn.
Happy Yeehaw, as Ono Senpai is going to get walled off and in a lot of trouble. The Immortality Field going to be the only thing that kept Ono alive, as Matamata going to get taken down by Captain Erwan. And that'll be the win on Flashpoint A for Breizhurect, as they now try and collapse onto Ono Senpai. Send him to the moon, I guess. Just going up, up, up.
This is our moment.
It was not actually his moment.
It was not our moment. Breizhurect grabbing first control of the point here. AKZ and Terranex nearly building up to their ultimates already. These windows from the Baptiste have been really impactful in these fights, where you're playing these brawl compositions that's allowing you to get out not only a big chunk of healing, but it's kind of about controlling the space here. As we can see, Breizhurect not allowing to let Elders even walk into this point.
Captain Erwan surviving just barely. Rodart gonna get taken down, as now Silver and the rest of Helders looking to push in with 90% remaining on the board, and a lot of ults on the side of Breizhurect. They might try to use them. They are at a significant disadvantage in terms of the numbers. There goes the Shatter off to the side, as the Annihilation goes through, it'll take down the Immortality Field. Beat used to shut it down. There's 2 ults used against the 1 as the Amplification Matrix pushes through. Overtime Wick starting to burn as AKZ and Rodark sitting on point. AKZ is just going to shut down the rest of Helders, and Breizhurect will take that first point and the stagger onto the Lucio.
Yeah, really handedly as well. 100% there. Did not allow Helders to have any opportunity to come in for a fight. We can see that for this next flashpoint, we are heading over to Ruins here. Breizhurect is going to be able to get themselves set up first here. Really big opportunity where you have both these DPS ultimates. AKZ with the Deadeye going to be able to control the space. Rodark going to be able to just lock everyone in place from Helders if they push onto this point. The Blizzard from Mata Mata is available as well. But yeah, it's going to be Breizhurect going first in the fight.
It's Blizzard thrown in, splitting up these members of Helders, and Ono Senpai is going to get collapsed on top of. Captain Erwan caught in the Blizzard, but has a beat to keep them alive. Breizhurect now ticking up 4% and climbing, and really taking control of this momentum.
Yeah, really good job from them to recognize where they want to take a fight here. You don't wait for Helders to kind of walk onto the point with this Reinhardt. You try to take an early fight, but now Silver does have this overclock. You just need a little bit of space to work with.
Yeah, but you lose Happy Yeehaw. You lose your ability to really reposition yourself as well as you would. Now Mata Mata in trouble, has to use the Ice Block. Dr. Unicorn's gone. Ono Senpai trying to make something out of nothing, but will get taken down as AKZ on this cast is just too much. Getting pick upon pick is AKZ. And there's Breizhurect keeping this point. One last fight here for Helders.
And Breizhurect just gone ahead and rebuilt their ultimates that they used in the first time they capped this point. You're gonna have the Blizzard, you're gonna have the Annihilation as well. So even if Helders gonna find their way onto the point here, you're gonna be dealing with an Annihilation. This Shatter from Ono Senpai, I mean, there's so much pressure on this Reinhardt to find the value.
Deadeye out of AKZ can put some pressure on the shield of Ono. Shatter in, will land onto 2, but Mata Mata's gonna get taken down. Immortality Field protects some of the shattered victims. Yeehaw gonna get taken down, but it's Captain Erwan's Annihilation that's going to be running through. Oh, AKZ does eventually get the pick onto Silver. I fear we saw the POV for the entire time of that, my friend. I fear we saw that.
Breizhurect, I mean, this is a really fantastic start to Sarabasa. Up at map point here, moving over to Palace. Looking like, again, they're going to be able to get set up maybe first. Actually, Gelder's making good progress here, and Gelder's actually does have the closer spawn this time, so theoretically, on paper, this should be a map or a point win for you.
Early Blizzard there is going to freeze up too, including the Lucio. But Happy Yeehaw will survive in the end. Captain Erwan getting 2 picks with the Nemesis form. Taranex taking out Mata Mata, and just Breizhurect running over top of Helders, just not letting them set up, catching them in these rotations, and capping the point. This is not good for Helders.
You're in a really awkward spot now where Breizhurect going to be able to get themselves set up around here between the Cassidy and the Mei. You have the damage and you have the splitting potential, which is what we're seeing Breizhurect do. You're splitting up these member of Helders, and then AKZ and Captain Erwan are just absolutely ripping them apart. You might actually have to use the beat here from Happy Yeehaw just to engage, but no, you actually do have a Mata Mata swap over onto the Symmetra, so a little bit more mobility here for Helders to try and make something happen with.
And they'll get onto the high ground that can really enable Silver, but they need to either take a quick fight and get something big, or they might just be the last fight here for this team as they start to tick up. Silver with the ult will expire. Shatter will find 2. Captain Erwan almost to the Nemesis form, does not use it, does not need it. Breizhurect will get taken down. 77%, almost 80 in the end for Breizhurect. This is backed against the wall here for Helders.
Yeah, this is, and Breizhurect still have a bunch of ults to work with here, and you're at that 79%, which means you're basically at kind of last fight territory here. It's just this beat from Happy Yeehaw that is standing between Helders and an Annihilation, a Window, a Deadeye, and Dr. Unicorns has the beat as well. So Breizhurect rotating up to this high ground. You're gonna have to fight for the space up here if you're Helders, because you can't give this up for free. You can't let AKZ get set up here.
Yeah, and Happy Yeehaw's beat, like you said, is going to be the most important ult to watch, whether it gets the value it needs, whether it blocks the ultimates it needs to. It has to work. They're going to use it to engage. They don't know about these ultimates coming up as Roderick going to go down, but there goes the Annihilation. Nothing to protect them, but it's behind the shield, so there's nothing there. The beat comes in just a bit too late. And now, Elders have an opportunity. They'll take point C and keep themselves in map number 3.
Was a little bit nervous about a beat engage when the other team has kind of the ultimate advantage, but they actually made it work really well. Pairing it with the photon barrier from Mata, it allowed the beat to extend a little bit longer, right? It doesn't get chunked down immediately from Breizhurect, and then Breizhurect commit ultimates into it not to win it. So good start here from Helders, and you get to get set up here, which is so important now that you have Mata on the Symmetra. You need to control the space early.
Deadeye out from AKZ, almost finds a big play, but AKZ gets taken down by the railgun shot, as Ono Senpai's gonna get hit by the right click of Dr. Unicorns, and Breizhurect will roar on to the point. This Ramatra is just terrifying out of Breizhurect, and now AKZ onto the Genji.
Ooh, okay, I'm interested to see this. I think that playing Genji into the Reinhardt and the Symmetra is a little bit tricky, but if Roderick can kind of hit these right clicks and find some like low targets, then AKZ can kind of go for the cleanup here. I think that's what you have to do if you're Breizhurect, but you got to play around this Symmetra. Mata, the longer that this Gelderse team stays in these fights, the more value that you're going to get from this Symmetra.
Absolutely you are, as the Symmetra is going to get taken down almost immediately, with AKZ finding a great cleanup. As now Ono Senpai in a little trouble. Shatter is going to go a little too wide. AKZ almost getting charged. Silver on this off angle as AKZ finds the pick onto Ono Senpai. AKZ finding 2 and looking for more. Silver in trouble. And there goes the Annihilation pop to secure the kill onto Silver, to secure a staggered fight win, so that almost no one can touch the point for overtime. Bum doesn't even get a toe on it, and it's 3-1 win there for Breizhurect, who are now on match point within smelling distance of the throne.
I mean, the Genji swap from AKZ might have been the nail in the coffin there. Playing around that Symmetra really well, and I really, really like that Breizhurect focused all their attention onto Mata early in these fights. We're seeing the Symmetra kind of fall first, so not only is the Sim not going to be able to use those TPs to kind of kite your team around, avoid some of this damage, but you're not going to have an opportunity to build up to that level 3 beam, which is going to do the majority of the damage for your team in these compositions. So really, really great play here from Breizhurect, and now, well, we said that Helders had, a little gap map to work with, but this is it now. You need to win 4 maps in a row if you want to come back from this 3-0 deficit.
And that's a tall order. It's an incredibly tough ask because, A, all of the momentum is against you right now. You had, at one point, you were having some tight games. You were having that tight map 1, that tight map 2. This map 3, though, it didn't feel as tight as the others. And so now you're starting to worry that you're getting a little bit countered. So for Helders, they've got one map, and it's their last map choice in the entire season. The entire one. No matter what, if they win or lose, they will not pick another map this season. It has to be good. The map types we've got left are, I believe, hybrid and push. What do you think they're going to go with?
I mean, I guess if you're a Reinhardt team, the hybrid map is on the table. I feel like it would be a sin if we didn't go to this map. We're not going to a push map. We're going to hybrid. We're going to King's Row. Of course we are. I
mean, you're not surprised for a team like this to go in backs against the wall, you have to expect the King's Row at some point, especially when they're playing a game, when they're playing a composition like the Reinhardt. That is just Reinhardt's playground. They are bringing out all the stops here to try and bring themselves a map, to get the momentum flowing in the other direction. We can go also into the bans pretty soon, and we can see exactly what happens between these two teams. What do you think we're going to see out of bans out of these two teams? Gelders.
Yeah, I mean, Helders, right now you're in a position where you have to protect this Reinhardt because Breizhurect haven't banned out the Reinhardt yet. You're going to King's Row. This is the Reinhardt map. So Helders have to ban a tank here. Even if it's, I suspect go for the Ramatra ban because that's going to be the tank that's going to counter out your Rein composition the most. And taking that Reinhardt or taking that Ramatra off the table does mean that you're also going to be protecting your Reinhardt here. So I mean, even if you don't ban the Ram here, if you're Helders, it has to be a tank because if you do not ban a tank, you're going to get the Reinhardt ban from the side of Breizhurect. So I think that Ram would be the best tank option, but that does mean, of course, that if you win this map, you're not going to have that Ram ban down the line, which could come back to bite you.
Well, and it looks like Helders are saying, if we don't win this map, we will not have a next map. So they're going with the Ramatra ban. Breizhurect now on the clock for the ban. They're looking for something to shut down this Reinhardt composition that has really been a thorn in their side. They're going to be going up against this Rein composition. No Ramatra to do it. And they're going to pick the Mei. This, I think, was probably one of, if not the best picks on the board, was banning this Mei.
I agree, because I'm thinking, like, what else is really enabling this Reinhardt composition? The Mei, definitely, the Lucio as well, but Breizhurect kind of want to play that Lucio themselves. So yeah, banning out the Mei here, that's going to stop these splits from coming through, which I do think Helders was doing a fairly good job with, and the Blizzards as well. So I think that the Mei, definitely a good safe ban, because the Mei only gets value on some very specific map and map types. So I don't think that you're going to be too upset about not having that Mei ban. If we do need to go into that map 5, go into that push map. So I think that Breizhurect, it's a good one that's going to still have impact, but not going to kind of be an issue if we do go into these later maps.
Yeah, Breizhurect leaving themselves some options going forward. Helders, on the other hand, do or die, I would say. I say it a lot, but this is really put up or shut up time for them, using the Ramatra ban, getting that out of their back pocket. Now, we'll see what they can do. We'll see if this Reinhardt composition is going to be enough. Taking out the Ramatra, what can they do?
Gonna have to see. I mean, Breizhurect, I wouldn't hate to see them go back over onto the Diva composition that what they were running. I mean, you can even play the Pharmacy here on King's Row, at least on first point if you're on the attack, and then you can kind of make some swaps and adjustments from there. I think that the Ashe, also a very good option. But I do think that, if you can't play this Ramatra and take those head-on fights against this Reinhardt, I think going over onto the Diva and just trying to play again for those angles will probably be your best bet to take King's Row and not force yourself to go into that map 5. I mean, Breizhurect, they want to clean it up here and now. They want to make this a 4-0 against the team that so far they have not been able to win against. Both times they went up against Helders, so they did not come out on top. So looking to shut things down here and now. That Ramatra ban, that Mei ban out. For the defense here, it'll be Helders starting, and they don't have the Mei to work with, but they are going to put Mata over on this Symmetra. A little risky, I think. It is putting a lot of pressure to win this first initial fight. And then the thing about playing Symmetra on, first point is that the attacking team is going to be able to basically just counter swap you if they deem you to be a really big threat. So you definitely want to for sure win this first fight and then try and chain together some momentum, build up to some ultimates, so that you can get the upper hand in the following fights. Breizhurect on this attack. We do have AKZ starting on this Widow. Taking a look, seeing what he can find. But with Dr. Unicorns over on this Mercy, I do expect that we're probably going to see that swap back over to the Pharah.
Taking a little bit of poke damage from the Sojourn. Just watching the angles. AKZ holding on to this Widowmaker for a little bit before eventually switching off to what else but the Pharah. And this is going to be tough now. Nothing to do with it as... Well, Ono Senpai just shuts down Rodark on the side. Now getting behind the Sigma. Able to stay alive, just barely, is Captain Erwan. Now Ono Senpai on the Reinhardt, looking to lead their team to a fight when needing to hold on for a long time to really get something good going here. As Happy Yeehaw is going to get taken down first. Captain Erwan going to find a second. It's both supports gone. And the rest of the team on such low health. Even the Reinhardt has to flee. And that'll be point A, going the way of Breizhurect with 5 minutes on the clock going into point B.
Yeah, this is a really great time back to have. Now, Breizhurect are going to be able to take a decent little amount of space here. Gelderse did get those forward spawns, so they're not going to give up too much space. Ono Senpai does have this Shatter ready to go. All you have to do is kind of try and get through this shield from the side of Captain Erwan. Again, you're kind of looking just for the solo Shatter here onto that Sigma. You're not going to get the Mercy or the Pharah. Rodark is probably going to be playing a little bit too far back, so if you want to get the fight win, just go for the solo Shatter. There's no shame.
Lux comes in. Immortality Field's going to miss Happy Yeehaw as the Immortality Field goes down. Shatter in, lands on to the Mercy, but can't find the pick in the end as Ono Senpai goes down. The Sim turrets are going to put in a little damage there. Just a cheeky little use on the side, but keeping on rolling is Breizhurect.
Yeah, and no time really burned off of that clock, which is not great for Gelderse because with this Rhine Sim composition, you'd really love to get more time off on that first choke point hold. And now you're up against every ult except for that Flux here. This wall gonna start things out. You need to get aggressive now if you're Gelderse. You need to find some picks off of this.
They can't slow down here, Gelderse. They need to just go aggressive, but Breizhurect have done such an amazing job, and they have all series of disengaging when things look bad, and they did it again, just walking away, and Gelderse just could not give chase effectively. Now AKZ, the Pharah in the backline, having the Symmetra try and burst down this Pharah is just never going to work, but Silver will find that pick in the end. AKZ will get shut down and take out the Mercy too as just a little treat in the end. As Mata pushes through, takes down Rodark, and there goes the Baptiste. Mata just appearing over and over in the kill feeds, charging up this ult incredibly quickly. And Mata and Gelderse finally put a stop.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this sim, right? If you can stay alive long enough in these fights, if you don't get taken down immediately, you're able to build up that charge. You get so much damage. Oh no, that definitely is a fat finger. AKZ with the barrage up inside the hallway. Oh no. All right. Silver has swapped over onto the Soldier off of the Sojourn now, so looking for a little bit more consistent damage. I thought that Silver was doing an okay job on that Sojourn, but looking to really try and shut down this pharmacy.
Beat to shut down the Flux out of the Sigma. Shatter in is going to find 2 on the ground. Baptiste as well, but not able to take down the Bap, just take down the Sojourn. Now pushing through, it's the tanks facing off. Dr. Unicorns is going to get taken down. AKZ now a lot more vulnerable. Although AKZ is not ever very vulnerable, as they're going to take down Mata on this far. Now rounding the corner towards the end of point B. Breizhurect Just looking for a little bit. Silver actually in some trouble. Going to take down Rodark. Grabbing that health pack. Just barely able to keep alive. Now facing off against the Mercy. Just being a menace in the back line before AKZ puts them down. And now in a little bit of staggered fashion, they're going to re-engage.
I somehow think that Silver being back there actually really helped Helders, which, like, your soldiers shouldn't really be back there, but you take enough a kind of position away from Breizhurect that the rest of Helders is able to kind of push forward and stop that contest from coming through. Now, you do have this photon barrier from Mata, the only ult to work with, but it could be enough to shut down a decent amount of these ultimates that are coming in from Breizhurect. The overclock, the window, maybe even the gravitic flux, but it's all going to be about the timing here, and using the Valve first, that's going to give so much damage here for Breizhurect to work with.
They're going to start off with an aggressive Valkyrie, just keeping their team alive at this point as they huddle back behind the side. Breizhurect now in some trouble. Now there goes the ult from Captain Erwan, going to take down Happy Yeehaw again. Ult from Silver, there's the tactical visor. Breizhurect, Captain Erwan just putting out the damage. Mata going to go down, an early pick, but it could be a big one here as Captain Erwan will find a second, and almost like clockwork, Breizhurect will just barely sneak on through to point C.
Yeah, this is not a whole lot of time to work with, but you've made it to point 3. You have AKZ over on this Genji now, which is going to work really nicely with this kind of high ground on the 3rd point. Silver is going to swap off of that soldier. No more Pharah to deal with, so back over on to this Sojourn. Not going to have an opportunity to take as many angles, but you do have these nice long sight lines here, so trying to build up to these railguns, trying to find the picks off of them.
Ono Senpai in a little bit of trouble. AKZ now switching on to that Genji. Captain Erwan doing a great job of putting some pressure onto Bum. Actually draws out the immortality field early on. Bum still in trouble, just can't seem to catch a break here. Eventually gets healed up, but that high ground not a safe place for this Baptiste with the Genji on the prowl. Aggressive beat going to come through out of Happy Yeehaw. Shatter online for Ono Senpai, as there goes the Gravitic Flux, landing onto the Reinhardt Immortality Field to keep him alive. Shatter in. Ono Senpai is going to get shut down. Pulls out the blade. AKZ. We haven't seen many of them, but this one's going to be elite. 2 off of the picks. Resurrection onto the Baptiste. And now just dealing with the stragglers is Breizhurect. 16 seconds on the board, but having any time on the board is very, very good for Breizhurect, considering they walked in with about 1:46 on the bank. They went almost unimpeded through point C.
Yeah, really good job. That, getting stalled up on that second point, okay, fine, a little bit. It's all about finishing the map. And like you said, K-Wing, finishing the map with a little bit of time in the bank as well. You definitely have to feel pretty good about that. Now, Breizhurect gonna set themselves up, get ready for this defense that's coming in. You have an idea of what Helders is going to be playing. You need to expect that there's going to be a Reinhardt. We're probably gonna have a Sojourn as well, as we can see AKZ, 1 death on the board. The MVP really making himself aware here. You make the 1 swap over onto the Genji and you get a couple kills off of it. Worked out really well for them. Now on the side of Helders for their defense. Nope, they are going to be on the attack. The Sim. I think, yeah, it makes the most sense to have the Sim come back in here. You need to have something to try and get you through these choke points. Really want to see Helders kind of take control of the high grounds behind the point. Force Captain Erwan on this Diva to kind of use those boosters to get up there and try and displace them. Especially if you can get Silver and Bum set up on those high ground behind the point. So many resources are going to have to be forced out from Breizhurect to displace them. We do have AKZ starting on the Genji here. And a cheeky little spot as well. If we can get some nice damage in from Rodark, AKZ is ready for the cleanup.
Yeah, AKZ just waiting, going to get spotted out and have that space denied. As now, there you said, trying to get Bum and Silver set up on that high ground, but Bum's going to get taken down, and Rodark and Captain Irwan are going to chase the stragglers all over. An early fight and an early fight loss for Helders.
Yeah, the TP just a little bit, you know where everybody from Helders is going if you're Breizhurect. So I think Dr. Unicorn's actually got a boop that kind of split some of the players off of that high ground, and now it's gonna be round 2 for Helders here, trying to find an opening, maybe trying to find a little bit of a different place to take this TP, as it is gonna be the rotation through the hotel instead.
Rotating through the hotel, having their exit denied as Breizhurect just walk in and shut them down. There's just nothing they can do. Breizhurect with a great play, a minute now drained off the bank of Helders. Not much left in them, it seems.
Yeah, they've tried 2 routes here. They gotta think about another one. They need to be a little bit quicker, though. The thing about this sim TP is that you want to be able to catch somebody from Breizhurect off guard, but there's so much mobility on the side of Breizhurect that these TPs are not really giving them any trouble here. Everybody's just kind of walking away from it. You use the dash, you use the boosters, TP, slide, whatever. So, all right, this is going to be the 3rd attempt. Another angle being taken here from Helders. I like the creativity coming out of them.
Yeah, Breizhurect, though, are just going to walk up onto this high ground and be ready to put the damage in onto wherever they end up going, and it's going to be 2 picks rolling through the exact same. Rodark using the Disruptor Shot, and AKZ just dashing through, throwing out shurikens, and now team kill, 2 minutes on the board, and 4 ults on the side of Breizhurect.
Yeah, it's falling apart here for Helders. These ults from Breizhurect, they're able to build them up because, like you said, the TP comes out and all of the damage goes in because Helders has sent everybody through the TP all 3 times that they've had the TP. There are no fake TPs here. There's no, the Reinhardt going through the TP and the DPS hanging back. It's an all commit in, and it has not been working here. You have been able to build up to this window from Bump, but where are you going to kind of find the value from this? Everyone from Breizhurect is just playing up on this high ground.
Big ult dump here for Breizhurect. They're going to use 2. Bum going to get taken down with the blade. AKZ looking for more, but it just doesn't even look like they're going to need it, as Breizhurect will pull out a lot of ults for that fight. Maybe a bit more than they ended up needing. They use 3 ults as AKZ gets taken down quickly. This is an opportunity for Helders.
This is the first kill that has come through for Helders on their attack here. You need you need to make this impactful. 46 seconds here, walking forward. You have the bead and the shatter to sustain. So now it's all about forcing a fight on this point. Make Breizhurect drop down so that you can use this shatter, because otherwise it's just going to be everybody on the high ground.
Silver gets jumped on by Captain Irwan, and it's just all falling apart. A tick will come through from Helders, but AKZ and the rest of Breizhurect will clamp down on Helders. Now with 15 seconds to go, 2 ults on the board, now 3. They've got to have a miracle play here to keep their hopes alive.
You gotta put Ono on the point. You need to have Happy Yeehaw play safe on a corner. Silver needs to be set up on an angle as well. Right now, you really need to just live through this fight.
Shatter lands on the Kiriko. It's an aggressive bomb over top. Catches Happy Yeehaw, and there's no one left on the point. Breizhurect stand very far away, but they stand champions of the EU Diamond League. GG's all around as Breizhurect conquer the demons that have haunted them throughout this season, the team they just could not seem to beat, the team they were always so close but not enough for. They have finally shut them down in convincing fashion at the pinnacle of the season, champions now of the Diamond League.
This is crazy impressive stuff for Breizhurect. To go from, you know, these 3-2s, these 3-2 losses, to taking a 4-0 win against Gelderse, this is really impressive, and I think that this team has just improved so much since the start of this season, even just since I think the mid-season playoffs. And I'm super excited that we are going to get an opportunity to speak to some of these players. So please don't go anywhere. We're going to have a quick break, and then we're going to get to talk to our newest EU Diamond champions.
And welcome back. We're here with an interview. Before we went to the break, we saw Breizhurect taking the championship 4-2-0 over Gelderse, and that's not it. Over Gelders.
GG.
Over GG. Over GG. And now we have some members of the Gelders team here to talk with us, to give us a bit of an exit interview. Thank you so much for joining us, and commiserations on that final result, but congratulations on a season well played.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a really fantastic season all through. I think that you came into the playoffs 9-0. Coming into this, how did you guys really kind of manage to come out on top for so long as a team that's mostly playing this one composition?
I think that's kind of why we won a lot of matches. I think we know how to play our composition into different things. We know how to adapt. We know our strengths and weaknesses really well, and we really improved as well in that regard. And I think if you play a lot of different comps, it's going to be a lot harder to actually get really good at any of them. I think that's really helped for us.
Yeah.
And to add to that, it's also kind of, most of us is our first time playing like really higher level Overwatch, and like in a team setting, pro setting. And so we also figured that just playing in one comp, playing to our strengths and our best heroes, would render the best results, and it showed.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, it's been such a pleasure to get to have some players coming in for the first time playing in this team setting and really, really showing up. I mean, Bum, you got the runner-up to the MVP as well. So really good job all around from this team. Even though you didn't get the finish that you were necessarily looking for, I think that you should be really, really proud of this season. So thinking about kind of what's coming next, can we expect to maybe see a return from the team, or at least from some of these players for season 17?
I think we're definitely gonna enjoy another season. Maybe not the next season. Maybe we'll sit one out. But I definitely expect to play more tournaments. CGL, we really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Before we end off, and we really do hope to see you back here really soon, before we end off, is there anyone that, while we're still on the stream, you want to give a shout out to, you want to give a thank you to while you're on? Anyone who really helped your guys' team throughout? The floor is yours.
Well, I think first of all, I just want to shout out the rest of our team, who has also just played really, really well and stuck together through thick and thin, so to say. And next to that, all of our friends and supporters who've come to watch essentially every match that we've played. That has been streamed, and even those that haven't been streamed, they were also there. So yeah, I appreciate that a ton.
Yeah, I also just want to add that our backline, our support backline, was just amazing throughout the whole season. I think they played really, really well. They were definitely the best part of our team. We played really well as a team, but yeah, I just want to give a special shout out to both our supports.
Thanks, Spooky.
Well, I'm glad that you guys can still hold your heads high after the after not coming up the way that you wanted. Congratulations on a season well played, and we hope to see you again here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that was our interview with the Helders team. Very shortly, we're going to take a quick jump to a break to bring in the team of Breizhurect, and have a little chat with them and congratulate them on their victory. So we'll be right back with that. See you in just a moment. And welcome back. Before we went to break, we had our exit interview with the Helders team. And now, after an incredible 4-0 victory against the Helders team, that team that had haunted them for so long that they had been bested by time and again, and by time and again, I mean twice, they have finally come out on top. We have AKZ and we have Captain Irwin from the Breizhurect team. Both of you guys, congratulations on the victory. How are you guys feeling?
I feel really good. I feel really proud of me. I think that we all progress, and I think that make us win.
Yeah, that was a really good tournament, and the plays were really good, and we managed to play really good together, and that was really nice.
Yeah, so I mean, K-Wing mentioned it a little bit kind of in our little intro there, but this is the third time that you came up against this team, not able to get the win in the first two matchups. So what did you guys change to all of a sudden kind of rotate from going to those map 5s onto a really clean 4-0 victory?
I think that first we trained more, we were more ready today, and we get AKZ. I think the first match we didn't get AKZ, so we lose. And the second, we didn't. So we don't have the carry, so we can't win.
I'm a key man. Nice.
Did pick up that MVP, so I guess very well deserved. If this is the carry for the team, yeah, actually most valuable player, very well deserved. Coming into this, you guys looked really good on a lot of different compositions. Is this something that you have been kind of working on all season to kind of be more flexible, or was this something that you guys kind of more perfected towards the end, coming up against a team where you knew you were going to have to make a lot of changes?
I think that it's for all the season that we become more flexible. We fight against really good team who make us really adapt our composition, like Goon Squad with the Zarya. We was not able to play Diva, so it was really difficult, but we adapt to that, and I think that we became flexible, and we learn how to play against GG.
Yeah, I can mention that we did struggle a lot at the beginning, and as Captain mentioned, we did progress through the games, through the tournaments, and yeah, it was pretty good at the end.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly good by the end. It just seemed like you guys started off having that slight edge over GG and just never really let your foot off the gas. I guess I am going to ask one last question, or I'm going to ask two last questions, which one is what's next for you guys? Are you going to be joining us again in CGL for season 17? Are we going to see you in any other tournaments around? What's next for you guys?
I think that the next tournament that we will do is the All for One, the French championat, and maybe we will do an hour season of CGL, but we don't see for the moment.
That's awesome. And then last question before we let you go and celebrate your victory. Do you have anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to give a big thank you to before we hop off the stream and end this here?
My parents. I literally can't play without my parents. They buy my PC, the screen. So yeah, I want to say thanks to them, and surely thanks to my teammates who make me progress, make me stop grid like I was doing in the first match, have a better mentality and don't tilt like I do in the first match. And yeah, thanks to my parents and to my teammate and my coach.
Did you have anyone you wanted to shout out?
Tu veux remercier des gens?
I want to shout out to Rodak's mothers. Who did support us a lot during all this tournament, and yeah, and I thanks her particularly.
He will give ask to Rodak to have his number phone.
Oh.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us here, and thank you for playing in CGL, and congratulations on your victory.
Thanks. And thank you for the
Thank
cast.
you a lot.
Was-
Thank you a lot.
Yeah, thank you for the.
Thank you. Oh, I have to say,
Oh,
I can't
man.
wait. I've never heard anyone shout out their parents before, but like that is so sweet, and it's really awesome to hear that that support is there for the players.
Yeah, incredibly heartwarming, honestly. But that's it for us here today. Our 4-0 victory for Breizhurect over GG, taking it in incredibly convincing fashion and winning themselves the prize pool. Incredible work. Now that's it for the EU Diamond League, but we still have so much more Overwatch. The playoffs are closing up for Season 16. So if you're interested in watching, make sure that you are in the Discord or getting notifications as to when CGL's live so you can see all of the playoff action or even get in on it yourself in CGL Season 17 coming soon, I hope. I don't know. But one can only hope. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you to our producer Luau for your work and our observer Lottie. And that'll be it for us. And have a good day or night. Good night.
I don't know what you want. Let's have a